The galaxy is quiet after war. Humans are nearly gone, their fleets destroyed, their worlds burned. Only one human remains on the victory platform of the alien empire. His name is Elias Ward. He stands alone, surrounded by alien generals, war beasts, and living machines. Every alien in the crowd watches him with fear, hate, and curiosity. Elias is not chained. That is the first strange thing. The alien queen, ruler of 1,000 systems, walks toward him. Her armor is alive. Her eyes glow like dying stars. She is known for mercy only once in history, and regret followed. The audience is told, Elias should be executed. Instead, he is here to be rewarded. Flashbacks slowly reveal. Elias was a low-ranking human engineer, not a soldier. During the final war, he was captured instead of killed. The aliens forced him to repair impossible technology. He survived things that killed entire species. One by one, alien officers argue. He is dangerous. He is only human. Humans adapt too fast. The queen silences them. She announces, Elias saved the empire without meaning to. A human solution fixed a problem alien minds could not solve. Because of him, the empire won the war, but lost control of something far bigger. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The war was over. That alone felt wrong. For 3 long cycles, the galaxy had burned. Stars were darkened by wreckage. Entire systems had gone silent. Civilizations older than Earth itself had been erased in weeks. And humanity, young, loud, stubborn humanity, had been crushed between powers far greater than it ever understood. Everyone knew the truth. Humans had lost. So when the massive victory platform drifted above the dead world of Kairos Prime, no one expected to see a human standing there alive. Yet he was. His name was Elias Ward, and he stood alone at the center of the platform. No chains bound his wrists. No energy field held him in place. That was the first thing the crowd noticed, and the first thing that made fear ripple through the gathered alien leaders. Thousands of beings watched him from raised tiers of black stone and living metal, warlords, hive queens, synthetic minds housed in floating frames, creatures that had commanded fleets large enough to blot out suns. All of them had killed humans. All of them knew a human should not be standing here. Elias did not look impressive. He was thin. His uniform was worn and patched in places with fabric that did not match. One sleeve was scorched from an old plasma burn. His boots were cracked. His brown hair was cut short, uneven, as if done by hand in poor light. He looked tired, but he stood straight. His eyes moved slowly, calmly, taking in the impossible sight around him. He did not glare. He did not bow. He did not beg. That made several alien generals uneasy. At the far end of the platform, a path opened. The crowd fell silent. She was coming. The alien queen of the Virelian Dominion stepped forward, each movement smooth and controlled. Her armor was not forged. It had grown around her body, dark and glossy like obsidian skin. Thin lines of blue light pulsed across it, reacting to her heartbeat. Her face was beautiful in a way that made the mind pull back. Too perfect, too sharp. Her eyes glowed faintly like distant stars seen through smoke. She had ended worlds. She had ordered the extinction of humanity. And now she was walking toward the last human alive. Elias felt the weight of her presence before she stopped in front of him. For a long moment, she said nothing. The silence stretched. The audience watching this moment, across fleets, across stations, across conquered worlds, waited for the obvious outcome. Execution. It was tradition. It was logic. It was mercy by the standards of war. Instead, the queen spoke words no one expected. "This human," she said, her voice calm and clear, carried by unseen amplifiers, "will not be killed." A low murmur spread through the crowd. Several alien leaders shifted, their forms tightening in anger or confusion. One of them stepped forward, a towering creature of bone plating and iron tusks. "He is the enemy," the warlord growled. "The last of his kind end him." Another voice followed, cold and metallic. "Human cognition is unstable. Allowing him to live introduces risk." The Queen raised one finger. The sound stopped instantly. She looked at Elias again. "You were designated a non-combat engineer," she said. "Is that correct?" Elias nodded once. "Yes," he replied. His voice was steady, though his throat felt dry. "I fix things." Several beings laughed softly. The Queen did not. "You were captured during the siege of Helios Gate," she continued. "Yes." "You were not executed." "No." "Why?" Elias hesitated. "Your systems needed repair," he said simply, "and you ran out of specialists." That answer caused discomfort. Because it was true. During the final phase of the war, Virelian technology had begun to fail, not from damage, but from age. Ancient systems, inherited from forgotten creators, were breaking down in ways no Virelian mind could understand. They had turned to prisoners. Most had died. Elias had not. The Queen turned back to the crowd. "This human solved a problem none of us could," she said. "He restored the core relay." A shockwave of whispers followed. The core relay was sacred, ancient, untouchable. It connected fleets across light years instantly. Without it, the Dominion would have fractured. One alien shouted, he should never have been allowed near it. "And yet," the Queen replied, "he fixed it in 12 cycles." Elias remembered those cycles. The cold chamber, the humming walls, the alien symbols that made no sense until they did. He had not forced the system to obey. He had listened. That was the human way. The Queen's gaze sharpened. "He did more than repair it," she said. "He changed it." The crowd stilled. Elias felt a faint chill. "That was not my intention," he said carefully. "No," the Queen agreed. "That is what troubles me." She raised her hand again. "For his service," she announced, "this human will be rewarded." The word "rewarded" struck the platform like a physical blow. Aliens stared in disbelief. A human. Rewarded. "For his service," the Queen continued, "Elias Ward will be granted freedom, a vessel, supplies, and protection under Dominion law." Elias' breath caught just slightly. Freedom. After years of captivity, of survival measured in hours, the word felt unreal. The Queen stepped closer. "You will leave this system," she said. "You will not return, you will live." Elias bowed his head, just enough to show respect. "Thank you," he said. The Queen leaned in. So close now that only he could hear her. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I should have claimed you first." Elias froze. Not from fear. From confusion. Her words were not angry. They were regretful. Before he could respond, she stepped back. The ceremony ended as suddenly as it had begun. Guards escorted Elias toward a waiting ship, sleek, unfamiliar, powerful. As he walked away, he felt thousands of eyes on his back. Some filled with hatred, some with fear, and one with something far more dangerous. From her throne, the alien Queen watched him go. Deep beneath the platform, ancient systems stirred. Protocols long dormant flickered awake. A signal, unseen and unheard by most, pulsed outward into the dark. The human catalyst is active. And for the first time since the war began, the Queen of the Dominion felt uncertainty. Elias Ward did not celebrate his freedom. The ship given to him was powerful, silent, and alive with alien systems far beyond human design. It responded to his presence without commands, lights shifting softly as he stepped inside. The doors sealed behind him, and for the first time in many years, he was alone. Truly alone. The engines engaged without his order. That should have frightened him. Instead, it felt natural. The ship slipped into faster-than-light travel with no sudden force, no violent shake. Space folded gently around the vessel, stars stretching into pale threads before vanishing altogether. Elias sat in the command chair, hands resting loosely on the armrests. "I didn't tell you where to go," he said quietly. The ship did not answer with words. It answered with movement. A star map bloomed in the air before him. One point pulsed softly at the edge of known space, old, faint, forgotten. Elias stared at it. His chest tightened. He had seen this pattern before. Not with his eyes, with his mind. As the ship traveled, memories returned uninvited. He remembered the core relay chamber, the way the ancient machine had resisted alien commands but opened itself to him, the way its systems reacted not to force but to understanding. The aliens believed power meant control. Humans had learned long ago that survival meant cooperation. Elias had not rewritten the core relay by dominating it. He had asked it what it needed. That simple act had changed everything. The ship slowed as it reached the pulsing star. There was no planet. Only a vast structure floating in deep space, black and smooth like a shard of night. It dwarfed his vessel, stretching for thousands of kilometers. No weapons, no lights, no signs of life. And yet, it was waiting. The ship docked itself. Elias did not resist as the doors opened. The air inside was warm, breathable, human. That should have been impossible. He stepped onto the floor, boots echoing softly in the endless chamber. The walls shifted faintly, reacting to his movement like a living thing. A voice spoke, not aloud, inside his mind. "You are late." Elias swallowed. "I didn't know I was invited," he replied. A ripple passed through the chamber. "You were always expected." Images filled his thoughts, stars forming, machines awakening, civilizations rising and falling. At the center of it all were structures like this one, silent watchers, keepers of balance. "We built the framework," the voice said. "Others filled it." "Who are you?" Elias asked. "We were called many names, architects, guardians, fools." The tone carried regret. "We made one mistake." The chamber darkened. "We built everything to last forever, except ourselves." Elias felt the weight of extinction. "You're gone," he said softly. "Yes." "Then why am I here?" Silence stretched. Then the answer came. "Because you can hear us." Far away, in the heart of the Vullian Dominion, alarms began to sound. Ancient systems, older than the Queen's throne, were activating without command. Data streams flooded control chambers. Energy levels spiked across the core relay network. The Queen stood alone before a holographic storm. "He has reached it," she whispered. Her advisors stared in shock. "The human?" one asked. "Yes," she said, "the one we let go." Fear rippled through the chamber. "What is happening?" another demanded. The Queen closed her eyes. "The beginning," she said, "or the end?" Back within the ancient structure, Elias listened as the truth unfolded. The architects had not built weapons. They had built limits. Barriers that prevented any single species from dominating the galaxy. Systems that adjusted power, resources, and growth to maintain balance. But over time, species found ways around those limits. Empires rose. Wars followed. The system began to fail. "We need a decision," the voice said. "End the framework or take control of it." Images appeared. One path showed Elias seizing control, commanding fleets, becoming something more than human, a ruler over all. Another path showed destruction, the ancient systems collapsing, chaos, endless war. "There's a third option," Elias said. "Silence. Change how it works," he continued. "Not by force, by consent." The structure trembled. "Explain." "Make power shared," Elias said. "Not controlled by empires, not hidden in ancient machines. Let every species have access, limited, equal." The voice hesitated. "That would remove dominance." "Yes." "It would end empires." "Yes." A long pause followed. "It would require a human interface." Elias felt his heart pound. "What does that mean?" "It means you." The Queen's flagship tore through space. She stood at the front of the bridge, armor gleaming, eyes locked on the destination. "If he takes control," an advisor said, "he could rule us all." "He won't," the Queen replied. "How can you be sure?" She remembered his eyes. "I know humans," she said. "They don't want thrones, they want choices." Inside the structure, Elias stood at the center of a vast sphere of light. The system waited. His hands shook slightly. "I don't want to be a god," he said. "I just want people to stop dying for nothing." "Then choose." He did. He rewrote the framework. Not in code. In principle. Limits became laws of fairness. Power became responsibility. Control became cooperation. Across the galaxy, fleets powered down. Weapons locked. Borders softened. For the first time in history, no empire could expand without agreement from others. The change was instant and permanent. The Queen arrived as the structure dimmed. Elias stood before her, exhausted. She studied him. "What are you now?" she asked quietly. Elias smiled faintly. "Still human." Understanding dawned in her eyes. "You could have ruled," she said. "I didn't want to," he replied. She bowed her head. "A queen. To a human." Elias left the structure behind. He did not return to the Dominion. He did not return to Earth. He traveled the stars, unseen, unnamed. A human among many. The galaxy remembered him differently. Not as a conqueror. Not as a king. But as the one who reminded them. Power was never meant to be claimed. Only shared. Und.